Okay, and we're back. Going to begin the process of switching hardware here. Just takes a minute or two. Oh, and Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night is all right. I don't love Symphony of the Night. We played through it once on the stream. It's uh-oh. I have done something wrong. You'll have to excuse me another moment. I'll be back with you. Okay, it should work now. Question marks. What I really love are the older Castlevanias, the more straightforward platformer games. I like the exploration of the Symphony of the Night style games, but I don't really like the RPG numbers stuff that they all have. But I've played Symphony of the Night and Circle of the Moon and Order of Ecclesia, and they're all good. And to be fair, Order of Ecclesia, I do really love that game. Um, that was uh, that was the second Symphony of the Night style game I played. I'd Circle of the Moon, Order of Ecclesia, and then Symphony of the Night. If I had played it back when it was new, Symphony, I would probably love it like more people do. But I got around to it late, and it's not my, like I said, it's not really my preferred style. And I'd already played Order of Ecclesia, which does a lot of the same kind of stuff that game does. But I like it much better, personally. What about Castlevania 64? I actually want to try some more N64 games soonish. Castlevania 64 is wonderful, Nato. It is a fantastic game. Everyone in the world hates it, and they just don't get it. They just can't see. It is really, really good. I don't know. I don't know why people can't seem to connect with it. I don't know what it is. I think it was ahead of its time or something. I have met a handful. There are people who have there are other people who have awakened to see how good that game is. I have come across a handful of like-minded individuals on Twitch. So hopefully you will be among them once you play it. All right, watch out. There could be a loud noise potentially here. Hopefully not, but headphone users be warned for just a moment. And my mic still works. Beautiful. We've got some audio. we've even got some video. Alright, let's go ahead and start the game so I can see how large to make my windows. That looks plenty good. Should probably retitle the stream too, though. What do we want to say? What are we doing tonight? Cozy platforming. Not only am I typing with one hand, but it's my dumb hand. Cozy platforming. Jump King, Ghost of the Babe, Switch. Perfect. Fall to the left. No, I wouldn't call Castlevania 64 wonderfully bad. Castlevania 64 is legitimately good. It reminds me a lot of Dark Souls. It's very it's very similar to Dark Souls environmentally. It's got like these just cool environments. There's a lot of like quiet time. There's a lot of like just really great areas to explore. I like all the details. It's got some challenging platforming to it. It's got a janky camera, but you know, every Nintendo 64 game has a janky camera. If you don't already really like Nintendo 64 games in general, C64 is probably or CV64 is probably not a good place to start. You kind of need to already have an appreciation / tolerance for the quirks and shortcomings common to all Nintendo 64 games. But I don't think Castlevania 64 is any more like janky than like the baseline jankiness of the console itself. To be honest, I hate Castlevania 64 less than the other ones, Zergling says. You know what, Zergling? I'll take it. In what ways is Mario 64 like Mario Brothers? Castlevania 64 is very like Castlevania, is the thing. I've heard people say that too, Chozo. And welcome to the stream, Chozo. I've heard people say that too, and I don't know what they don't see. They're very similar. Yeah, it just shows you the haters haven't played it. I haven't played it, but I don't trash it. Yeah, it's one of those that just it doesn't have a I will admit it doesn't have a very welcoming start. There's a few quirks to the way the platforming works that if you don't work them out for yourself really early on, there's some challenges that you can you can be pretty heavily punished for failing, but so I feel like a lot of people who try it, and I don't think enough people try it, but I think a lot of people who do fall victim to those early pitfalls and never make it far enough to see how cool the game really is. I have no evidence for that. It's just a hypothesis. But I don't think it's an unreasonable one. Got a ROM of the Legacy of Darkness version. Plan on starting it sometime soon, Chozo says. Within the month. Oh, Halloween in May, perhaps? Legacy of Darkness has more content, apparently. So the biggest problem with Legacy of Darkness for me, and I haven't played all the way through it, but I played the first level or two. The first area or two, I guess might be a better way to say it. I don't like the character that you have to play as in Legacy of Darkness. You only get you don't have a character choice at the start of that one. There's only one character you're forced to use, and I don't like him as much. So immediately I'm soured on the game because of that. The playable characters from the original game you can't get until well, I guess until you beat it, because they're unlockable, but not accessible from the start, and that I don't like that. I also think the very first area you start in is pretty weird in Legacy of Darkness. The game just starts off very weird. But I haven't played it all the way through, so we'll see. Maybe if I do, maybe I'll love it too. It just didn't make a good first impression of me. As someone who loves Castlevania 64, Legacy of Darkness did not make a good first impression on me. And from what I've heard, hey, Dollar Phil, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. How did Star Soldier go tonight? I stopped in a little while earlier, just long enough to keep my watch streak going. I didn't have time to really hang out and chat, but I wanted to keep my watch streak going, so I was there briefly. You're playing this again. Well, we played something different earlier tonight. This is actually my third game tonight, Dollar Phil. I played through Darkwing Duck on the NES and the Game Boy. We did both of those games tonight, and now, since they're done, I went back to this. Frownie worships this game. I do love this game. Oh, but to finish my thought, so I haven't played Legacy of Darkness, but the people that I know that are also Castlevania 64 fans prefer Castlevania 64 to Legacy of Darkness. People who don't seem to like either game tend to say that Legacy of Darkness is better. But people who like Castlevania 64 don't tend to prefer Legacy of Darkness, in my experience. So, whether that is at all meaningful in any way. Who knows? But that's been my experience. Is people who like the first one are less are prefer it to the second one, and people who don't like either prefer the second one. So just play both then. Takes me a minute to get the other ROM. I mean, if I I feel like I feel bad. I don't want to bully you and tell you what to do, but as a fan of Castlevania 64, I would say you'd be better served to start with it. uh, Star Soldier didn't go too well, but we got a PB on Streets of Rage 3. GG on those. Thank you for the GG's dollar fill. GG on the PB of Streets of Rage. That I hope you make it through that game, because I mean I hope you make it through both. They're both brutal. If you don't know our friend Dollar Phil, by the way, another fine retro streamer, a fan of shmups, among many other types of things, a fan of challenging games. Dollar Phil's been working on Star Soldier. I've seen him do Contra Hardcore, R-Type. As you see, working on Streets of Rage 3 as well. A very ambitious gamer. Plays a lot of hard games and plays them in marathon, back to back. I have to get through them eventually. They're part of the marathon. Exactly. I know. I've got nothing but confidence in you. I've got nothing but confidence in you, my friend. Star Soldier looks like a nightmare, though. I have to say, with that one, I'm really glad it's not me playing it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're going through it, but I'm really glad I'm not playing it. Says the guy playing Jump King, right? You know, Star Soldier's got to be rough when the guy who's playing Jump King feels bad that you're playing it. Streets of Rage 3 is such a rude game, Zergling says. Halloween isn't really a big thing in Australia. Some free-to-air TV stations will have horror movies going all night. Other than that, it's not a big thing here. And I had heard that before too, Chozo. I like to. I'm a pretty big fan of Halloween. I like all the. I enjoy all the spooky atmosphere of Halloween. That's why I like to try and celebrate it twice a year instead of once. The fact I hate Castlevania 64 less is probably due to the fact I haven't played it myself. 2, 3, and Super Castlevania for the SNES. I played those, just hated them more after, Zergling says. Yeah, I like the guy with the whip, Reinhardt Chozo. That's my favorite character. It's a Castlevania game. You have to play with the guy with the whip. The other one, the girl with the magic powers, Carrie. I think her game is supposed to basically be easy mode. I think she's supposed to be an easier character overall, but I will say there's one boss when I played the game, when I played through on hard mode, there's one boss that's exclusive to her storyline that is brutal. Brutal. It tore me to shreds repeatedly. So but yeah, I like Reinhardt a lot. I like the character, and I like the storyline for his playthrough. You made me think that maybe the original could be better. Like how Burnout 3 is better than Revenge, even though Revenge is Burnout 3.5. Of course it's rude. It's not Streets of Relaxing 3. Star Soldier is mean. I'll be glad to get it to be done with it. I'm worried about its sequel too. I didn't even know it had a sequel. It's brutal, Chozo says. I played the one first on the Switch Online service. What you're playing, Jump King? Will we ever get a Nightmare? Will we ever get Nightmare on Christmas? Before Christmas on GBA, good Halloween game. Maybe we could maybe do that one. I've got a GBA flash card, so I'm really open to GBA games. It's a good Halloween game. It's true, gotta be the whip guy. Even in Bloodlines, I use the whip dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah, John Morris. Yeah, I much prefer to play with, as John in Bloodlines. That's another one of my favorite Castlevanias. I love Castlevania 1, Castlevania 64, and Castlevania Bloodlines. Those are my top ones. With honorable mentions to The Adventure and Order of Ecclesia. Yeah, I'm a real novice. I'm a real novice with Castlevania 3 Zergling. I've only played through it once, and my playthrough was I unlocked Grant and Sypha on my playthrough, but I didn't really use either of them hardly at all. So far as like for all intents and purposes, my playthrough is basically Trevor only. Loop 2. I don't know if I want to do Loop 2. Yeah, Castlevania 3 hard mode loop sounds like it'd be so much fun. I don't even like Loop 2 of Castlevania 1. I've done it a couple times, kind of just barely. I don't like I love Castlevania 1, but I find Loop 2 to be just kind of gross. I don't have fun with Loop 2. Just a bunch of bat spam everywhere. Which is all just, I'm sure it's all just me making excuses because it's too hard for me. But, you know, it is what it is. Can I really say I beat it if I didn't do Loop 2? Yeah, I'm okay saying I beat it for now. I haven't completed it, though. I do want to go back and complete it. It is. I would say Castlevania. I mean, I wasn't thinking about Castlevania 3 when I made the comparison, though Castlevania 3 is super similar to Castlevania 1, so I suppose it still stands. I was really thinking Castlevania 1 is very similar to Ghosts and Goblins. I like 1 and 4 the most. Oh, I think 3 is the best, Chozo says. Yeah, I need to spend more time. I need to spend more time with it. There's several sequels to Star Soldier. Oh no. I remember playing Burnout and Burnout 2 for the first time. I fell in love with the crash challenges, Nato says. I played Burnout Paradise. That was the one that I played. I remember having a lot of fun with it, though I don't remember the game very clearly. It's been so long. I really, more than anything from the game, I just remember that I had fun with it. I couldn't really tell you anything like why. I couldn't really tell you what I liked about it. I just remember that I did like it. Nightmare Before Christmas is a legit good Metroidvania, Chozo says. I was shocked that they made a good licensed game. I'll try and keep it in mind. I think, yeah, that could be good to play for Halloween. And we do play Halloween games in May, so I'm not gonna promise that one, but I will strongly consider it. I haven't really picked out what I want to do for Halloween this month yet. You don't have to force yourself to like something. This is true. Loop 2 is just hard mode for games like Castlevania. Well, yeah, I mean, you get the true ending when you beat Loop 1 in Castlevania. I don't... Loop 2 is mandatory for Ghosts and Goblins to say you beat the game because you don't get the true ending. But in Castlevania, you get the true ending from Loop 1, so the Loop 2 is just bonus content in that game. Same with like Contra. You get the true ending when you beat Contra, even though you can do harder loops if you want. They're just bonus content. Castlevania 3 is just the real Castlevania 2. I'm inclined to feel that way. I don't think Castlevania 2 is garbage. I think Castlevania 2 is okay. It's severely flawed in many ways, but it's still okay. It's still an okay playthrough. Granted, I also played through it having its worst secrets already spoiled for me, so if I had done a truly blind playthrough of it, I might would really hate it. So maybe put an asterisk by my opinion. Burnout Paradise is quite a bit different from the originals. It's the only one I've played, so I don't have the point of comparison with the other ones. I like watching other people suffer through Castlevania the most. Great music, great environment, and art. But leave the awful gameplay for others to suffer through. Hating a game and being able to elaborate properly on why you hate it after beating it seems like a more legitimate hate, Zergling says. I mean, you know, a lot of the games that I hate are games I have beaten. I don't I try not to let my hatred for a game stop me from beating it. If I hate a game, why should I play it long enough to complete it, Greg says. Because if you complete it, Greg, then maybe you can hate it even more. Oh yeah, yeah. The reward. I mean, I love Mario 64. The reward for completing Mario 64 is not like fantastic, but what is? I mean, it's the end of the game. What are they gonna do, right? The trouble. See, the trouble for me with like in-game rewards like that is like the best reward you can get for beating a game is more content. Like if I complete a game, the best thing I can possibly unlock is more levels. But there has to be an endpoint. It can't be like I complete the game, so I unlock 10 new levels. Then I complete those 10 new levels, and I unlock 10 new levels. And I complete those 10 new levels, and I unlock 10 new levels. Like, that can't go on forever. There has to be a point where there's no new content to unlock. And so the ultimate reward is for completing a game is always going to be disappointing to me, because the only thing I want is more of a game I love is more content. I mean, what else? Like, you know, infinite lives is meaningless. Like any extra power up it could give me is meaningless because I've already completed all the stages without it. So, and like a bonus, like cheesy power up isn't really appealing to me anyway. Like when you beat Mario Brothers 3 and it gives you and it gives you a full stock of P-Wings, it's like that's not a reward for me. That's no good. That just lets me replay the game in a worse way. That's what's fun about that. I really can't think of a completion reward that I'm even going to care about at the end of the day. Completing all the levels. Completing all the levels removes a level from Jet Force Gemini, regardless of the fact that they're not related. Well, there's the... Alright, cows, you thought of a better reward than more content. If I beat Jump King and it removed a level from Jet Force Gemini, I can't think of anything that would make me happier. You've done it. You've one-upped me, cows. I admit defeat. That's brilliant. Yeah. So yeah, like extra lives is not really a good thing. Greg says I have better games to play and better ways to spend my time. I disagree on that idea. Well, I mean, we're not. I don't think anyone's arguing that. You know, I'm not trying to convince you to play games you hate, Greg. I'm just making jokes about why I do it. A second playthrough of Zelda 2 or Metroid. You get to play again with all of your level ups and items. Yeah, it's kind of a it's kind of a pointless reward. The only thing better than more in this case would be less. Hi, a Pink Scully. Welcome in. I'm sleeping here again. Good night. Hey, very much appreciated. Love to provide an environment that's good for a fine sleep lurk. Just a heads up. You could be jump scared, depending on who we raid at the end. It might get a little loud or excitable after this stream is over. But very grateful to have you spend some time with us, even if it is a sleep lurk. I was actually doing that earlier tonight. in a Nato's stream. When Nato's playing Tears, he went live at like 6 o'clock my time. And I was like, this is great. I put the stream up on my tablet and I took a nap. And just let the ambient vibes of the stream give me sweet dreams. I'm good at lulling people to sleep, Nato says. I could hear your commentary in my sleep, and it was making me have this weird dream about. I was dreaming about playing a video game that was like, it was sort of a cross between Tears of the Kingdom and Jet Force Gemini. It's like a delicious sandwich that's half peanut butter, half sewage. Oh. There's no way my commentary would propagate weird dreams. Well, you gave me the good parts. You gave me the Tears of the Kingdom parts. And then my own tortured psyche gave me the Jet Force Gemini parts. Oh. I got my desk all cleaned off. Evie Ben says I can set things on it again. Every surface in my home is like that. Every table, desk, end table, chair, shelf, everything in my home has got clutter on it. And I'll finally clean something off at some point, and I feel so great, and it stays cleaned off for like 48 hours at the most. It's very weird. It's very weird. I simultaneously have not enough furniture in my home and way too much furniture. Because I have, like, we have more furniture than we need, but we don't have enough furniture of the type that's like storage. So there's nowhere to put anything. We don't have enough like drawers and cabinets and such. I fight a couple surfaces pretty hard, and it's an ongoing battle. I'm a serial declutterer, and the sister that lives with me is a serial clutterer. It's an ongoing battle, Cal says. Yeah, Jelly and I are both clutterers. if you mean like not just like leaving stuff out, but constantly like bringing in new things. Jelly and I both have like very strong collecting drives. We both get hooked on building collections of things very easily. We go thrifting a lot. Because we both love the thrill of the hunt when you're going around, when you find something in a thrift store or a garage sale. We both very much love finding treasures, and then we just end up with way too much junk. Yeah, constantly trying to get rid of things, struggling to do so, and then new things come in. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to get rid of anything. I mean, it's not necessarily because I'm attached to the things, but it's because I don't like the idea of just throwing things out. I really want to give them to someone, donate them, yard sale them. I want to get rid of them in a productive way, and so... But, you know, things like putting on a, like hosting a yard sale is a big endeavor. So... It's hard to make that happen. My wife is the opposite, Nato says, not a collector. I'm in the middle, but I have to be careful. Yeah, we're both. I mean, I'm worse. I'm worse for it than Jelly is, but we are both collectors. I just put a bunch of flat stuff in a scrapbook so I didn't throw it away, but now it's at least in a place that is meant to collect things instead of a pile. Yeah, that's using up valuable real estate. I think part of my problem is maybe I'm too imaginative. It's hard for me to get rid of stuff because I'm very good of imagining unlikely, highly unlikely, but possible scenarios where I might need an item. And it's hard to get rid of something when you can imagine a use for it. I'm the same way, Cow says. Sounds like my bag of cables and adapters. Oh yeah. Yep. I feel like I have cables and adapters. Well, I have enough cables and adapters to attach any electronic device to any other electronic device in the universe, except for whatever two I want to connect together right now. I could connect any two items in the universe together, except the two that I'm working on right at any given moment. No matter how many cables and adapters I hoard, I always need another. Yeah, which bag or box or basket? Yeah, I've got some. I've got some of those like great big like 30-gallon tubs, just full of that stuff. I had a letter from my grandma wrote years before she died, EpiPen says. She thanked me for fixing her computer and asked if I could look at it again when I had time for another reason. Literally a snail mail request for IT troubleshooting. I love it so much. Now it's got a proper home. That's very sweet. Jelly's dad is he's a big sports guy, and he for a long time collected a lot of sports, like just all kinds of sports memorabilia, and I think he like had sort of a thought that someday he might open like a sports collectible shop or something like that. But it just never kind of panned out that way. But he's got tons of cards, like just, outrageous numbers of sports cards, all kinds. And some of them, some of them extremely valuable, some of them basically worthless, like that kind of thing. But he's been selling them off. He'll share with us like, what he brings in for him sometime. But he finally started selling them. Jelly's mom told us because she had a conversation with him one night and was telling him, like, I mean, they're in good health and everything. There's not they don't necessarily have to worry about how much time they have left right away. But Jelly's mom Told him, you know, if I survive you, every one of those cards is going into a yard sale marked $1. And he chewed on that for a while, and that finally put the fear into him to have him start liquidating some of the stuff, I guess. Because he's got some, like he's told us there's like a couple of them he sold for a few $1,000s, you know, for an individual card. And like I know prices can get even crazier than that, but I imagine Jelly's gonna tell me the same thing someday. I imagine Jelly's gonna tell me the same thing someday about all these retro games I have on the wall. She's gonna say they're all gonna go in a shoebox marked $1 a piece. That would be a pretty massive shoebox. Those words give me a heart attack, Nato says. Well, see, that's the thing though, is like Jelly's mom was telling him, like, you know, like she doesn't know anything about that stuff and isn't gonna be inclined to do the research or anything. Like it's all collectibles from a hobby that she has no interest in, and no motivation to try and gain the knowledge. So yeah, you gotta, you know, so a lot of that stuff to get anything near the cash it's worth, you have to have a very specialized set of knowledge. And even if he went through and didn't sell the things off himself, but you know, earmarked like marked them and stuff like that, those values change. And I have bags of cables and cords from old systems. The systems themselves are just broken, Chozo says. I have a bomb from World War II that's been disarmed. I use it to keep my door open when it's a windy day and I want my window open. It's a heavy bomb, like 15 to 20 kilograms. That's a pretty wild thing to have in your home. It's heavy for a door wedge. I would say that's pretty heavy. Your hoarding style sounds like a blast, EpiPen says. Very well done. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't tend to collect, to speculate. I don't add things to my collection for the sake of their rarity or their value. But I do have a few games that are pretty valuable, but not a lot, but I've got a few. The most valuable game in my collection is probably Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. Like, if there's one item in my collection that you would really want to get, you would really want to try and get what people ask for it, then it would be that one. Because that one goes for several, well, last I checked, goes for several $100s. What a name for the game. Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. The thing is, I bought it. I bought that game for $4. I had no idea. I had no idea it was rare or valuable when I bought it, and clearly neither did the person who priced it. I found it at a used bookstore for $4. I actually ended up working at the same used bookstore about a year later. So, like, I know the employees. I know the employees who priced it very well. And I know that they didn't know or care what it was worth. But neither did I. Because when I bought it, I didn't even know there was a difference between Sculptor's Cut and 63 1/3. Like, I thought they were the same game. And I was pretty sure I already had it. And I was just like, well, it's only $4. I don't mind if I duplicate it. And so I bought it, and then it wasn't until months or even maybe a year or more later that I happened to see an article about, like, you know, expensive, rare and expensive games, and that one was on there, and I was like, could that be the one that I bought a while back? And sure enough, it was. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. Now it will sit on my shelf, where it will neither be played nor make me any money. Because I don't really like fighting games. I did once upon a time. I did at one time think that I might try and build an entire library collection for the Nintendo 64. I had the thought, like, I had the thought that that one might be possible. That I might be able to get the complete library, but I kind of gave up on that. I got about a third of the way there before I kind of gave up on it. And I think I'm closer now than I was. I think I'm close to half the collection. To half the library. But I haven't had that ambition for a very long time. I just have some stuff from family, spray painted it, and gave it flames. I do hoard video game related stuff, though. Yeah, me too, Chozo. Pretty much anything video game related, I hang on to, regardless of how worthless it is. I think I have around 100 plus PlayStation 2 games I just picked up because they're around $2 to $5 per game in great condition. Yep, and I probably would have gone for the deal and done the same thing. PlayStation 2 is my favorite 3D retro system, Chozo says. Building a complete library of PlayStation 2 games sounds like the ultimate nightmare. Yeah, those are the best. Buy for peanuts, sell for a fortune. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, Nado, is I never do the sell for a fortune part. The buying for peanuts part, that's the only way I buy anything, pretty much. There's like 4,000 plus. Oh yeah, and we'll see, including all regions. Yeah, I wouldn't have built the library for other regions. I would have just stuck to the North American region for the N64. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, if push comes to shove, if I suddenly need a couple $100, then and can't think of anywhere else to get it, then yeah, definitely. Sculptor's Cut's days are numbered. For now, I'm pretty alright. Like, even though I don't really like fighting games or have much of an interest in Clay Fighter, I think I have every game in the series, so maybe we'll marathon them on the stream, and then who knows, maybe I'll be able to release myself from it then. My neighbor gave me this really cool equipment case that people use for DJ or lighting equipment, worth over $300. Finally listed on Facebook. Got an easy 100 for it. Figured I'd give him a cut. That's nice of you, EpiPen. That was today too. I feel so unhoardish right now. How do you feel about 3D beat-em-ups? If you like them, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks is an amazing game on the PlayStation 2. I can't say that I have any... I can't really say... I guess I don't really have any particular interest in 3D beat-em-ups, Chozo. I can't think of any that I've played, except maybe... Does Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity count as a 3D beat-em-up? I played that, and to be fair, I really enjoyed that, but that was, I think, a fairly unique example. Hey, Scrollock, welcome in. Just popping in. I'm looking at this and I already give up. It's pretty rough, and I'm not, as usual, I'm not playing particularly well, but that's alright. We don't play Jump King for the victory. We play Jump King for the journey. Jump King is a good excuse to just sit around and chat, basically. Because for the most part, almost nothing happens in the game. Trying to sell Bart versus the Mutants on Facebook. People love to ask you if something's still available over and over again. I get anxiety every time I think about selling something on Facebook. Yeah, I've bought stuff off the Facebook marketplace, but I've never sold anything on it, I don't think. Well, I haven't. Jelly might have sold something for us. I can't really think of what. I do have some furniture that I've considered listing on there, but we'll see. Got some shelving units I don't need. I was just complaining about how I don't have enough shelving and cabinets in my home. And I've got shelving units I'm actively trying to get rid of. Go figure. Am I the one who is irked by the frame rate performance in Hyrule Warriors? So I didn't play the first one. I only played Age of Calamity. And I can't say that it bothered me, Nato. But I'm pretty... I'm pretty immune to frame rate issues, it seems. People... I don't know that I've ever complained about a game having frame rate issues. That seems to be something people are really picky about, and I don't know. It doesn't seem to affect me for whatever reason. I somewhat jokingly point to the large number of Nintendo 64 games I play. Hack and slash games are pretty much 3D beat 'em ups, more focus on combos. Yeah, when it comes to 3D games, I guess I really like, well, it is the same as with 2D games. I like kind of adventure games and platformers. I'm open to playing all types of games, but when it comes to things that I have active interest in and love for, my taste is pretty narrow, I think. I like to think I have a wide taste because I will play a bunch of odd things, especially if they're broken trash. But the kind of stuff I love always seems to be platforming and adventure games. Jump King looks so defeated if you don't make him stand up right away. I haven't played too much. I got to Bargenberg, Skrillex says. Okay, so yeah, I know. So we're really far along from there. This is the third quest in the game. This is DLC number 2. So I've completed the main game and the first DLC at this point. I actually did DLC 1 first because I was lost and confused. And then I was stubborn. And it took me forever. It took me 92 hours to beat the game for the first time because I was stubbornly committed to DLC 1. And then when I beat that, I went back and did the main game and did it in 4.5 hours. So I brought my PB down a lot. And then I did DLC 1 a second time, and it took 2.5 hours. And now we're doing DLC 2. So yeah, Bargensburg is not the beginning of the game. You've been through a couple things, but you got a ways to go to the top from there. "2 hours of Jump King at the start of every stream was where you shine the most," Circling says. Yeah, and we might go back to that pattern after a while. After I'm stuck here for a while. I'm always keeping that in the back of my mind as a possibility. I feel like with this area, though, it kind of takes me 2 hours just to get warmed up. You play Jump King, and from what I've seen, I don't want to, Greg says. I'd be too busy cursing at the game to enjoy it. Gotta get ready for work. See ya. Thank you for stopping in, Screwlock. I hope work goes smoothly for you. Minimal stress, maximum productivity. I hate dealing with selling stuff more than I mind selling it, EpiPen says. Yeah. I mean, I've got... I have a fair amount of things I wouldn't really mind selling off, but the task of doing it is daunting. Like, it's definitely stuff I wouldn't mind being rid of, but I don't want to go through the task of actually doing it. If the game is good, I can overlook even the most atrocious frame rates, Greg says. I can't play a game if it's below 25 FPS in modern times, unless it's a Nintendo 64 game. I make an exception. I was about to say you'll never play a Nintendo 64 game again then, because a lot of those run at like 20, right? When they're not slowing down. When they're not slowing down to like 12. I haven't done that in a while. It's alright. It's alright. I mean, I don't like falling down there because it's not really dangerous though. There's the odds that I'm gonna fall off of that area are really slim, but still, you don't want to see anything lower than you have to. Don't mind lower FPS if it's not online or competitive. Oh yeah. So that I will complain about. Like, oh my goodness. Mario Maker 2's online gameplay is horrific. It is a nightmarish experience. Have you ever tried to play Mario Maker 2 multiplayer? It is disgusting. It is criminal how terrible it is. Mario 35 was great, though. Mario 35 ran perfectly. I never had a single problem with it that I recall. But yeah, Mario Maker 2 is unplayable in multiplayer. Nintendo has all these innovative gaming breakthroughs, but anything that's to do with the internet or online is a decade behind. That typically doesn't bother me because I don't really like to play online or play multiplayer in most situations. But I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Their online stuff is almost always janky at best and usually pretty trash all around. You couldn't download a game in the background on the Wii. I did not remember that detail. I wasn't downloading a bunch of games onto the Wii, though. I guess I did have... I mean, I did get a handful of Virtual Console games, so I would have experienced it, but I didn't remember it. I remember that, Cal says. You know, sit there, watch Mario run across the screen and hit a block for however long it took, which is usually 30 to 90 minutes or more. I don't remember it taking that long. I do remember the Mario hitting the block animation. I'm not saying it didn't take that long. I'm just saying I don't remember. The bane of my existence, Cal says. The bane. Best of luck jumping. Thanks for sharing Darkwing Duck with us, Cal says. Oh, it's time for me to be heading up to bed. Thank you, Cows. I appreciate you being here as always. Thank you for doing the shout outs and being a shining example in the chat. As always, very much appreciate you, my friend. I hope you sleep well. Have a phenomenal weekend. Hopefully when we see you next week, I'll be able to tell you good news about Jet Force Gemini, too. But I wouldn't hold my breath. Have a good weekend either way, and hopefully we'll see you early next week. Have a cow-like rest, Zergling says. I keep hoping the cartridge for Jet Force Gemini gets corrupted and Frownie has to quit, Zergling says. Jet Force Gemini, Zergling, might be one of the games I actually own multiple copies of. So if that happened, we could probably restart. I think I actually might have 2 copies of that one. So maybe be careful what you wish for. Frownie also has eBay, so it would only delay the inevitable. I don't think I would pay for another copy, especially at this point. I do have a flash cart, though. So even if I didn't own a second copy, I have a Nintendo 64 flash cart. I don't know if Jet Force Gemini will work on it, but probably, maybe. It's one thing I don't miss about old school carts. The saves are on the actual carts, Jozo says. Yeah, I always prefer for a game to have passwords. Some sadistic subscriber would mail it to your Patreon. I don't have a mailing address for the public. People have wanted to send a couple things into the stream before, but which in certain circumstances might be nice, but so I've thought about maybe opening a PO box temporarily, but we'll see. Only US thing I own is a copy of Demon Souls. Everything else is PAL, just emulate NTSC versions. So I ended up getting I wasn't really playing a whole lot of games at the time the Wii came out. I got it pretty late. I ended up getting a Wii secondhand, and it was basically a Mario Kart machine. Mario Kart might be the only game that I ever played on my Wii, except for a couple virtual console titles. I don't know. I think we played a little bit of Mario Party on it one time, too. Whichever Mario Party was on the Wii. I don't remember it being very good. I think it must not have been, because I don't think we played it more than once. Maybe twice at the most. My Wii was basically a Mario Kart machine. I liked Mario Kart Wii a lot. And I had an Xbox 360, and that was just a Call of Duty machine. The only thing I played on it were Call of Duty games and Street Fighter 4 and a little bit of Burnout Paradise. So I probably played I definitely played less than 10 games on it. The 360. Yeah, I'm not I don't really like the motion controls. We've played a fair amount of Wii games on the stream though. We played a lot of WiiWare titles. And I'd like to work my way through the rest of them. I'd kind of like to play every WiiWare title if I can. Well, everyone except one. There's one M-rated WiiWare title that we won't play on the stream. So, I like to play almost every WiiWare title. Used your Wii the most in Korea, EpiPen says. The WiiWare stuff and Virtual Console is great, but the Wii games have a focus on using the motion controls are horrible. Don't even care much for the first party games. I mean, I'm never going to be eager to play a motion control game for the motion controls, you know. But there's still a few Wii titles I'd like to try out. I think I could endure the motion controls for them. Yeah, I believe the Wii had, yeah, I think you're right. I think it had Wi-Fi built in. The 360 didn't, though. At least the one I had didn't. I had a little antenna that I plugged into it to make the Wi-Fi work. Wii bowling was the funnest thing for a long time, EpiPen says. I've actually never played the Wii Sports titles. Or the Wii Sports mini games, or whatever they were. The, like, bowling and... they had boxing, I think, too. In that. The bowling's the one I always hear people talking about. Love the Wii Sports, Chozo says. The baseball's my favorite one. Yeah, I never tried them out. I have a copy of Wii Sports, but yeah, my Wii was secondhand, so it didn't come with it. I just found one later on and never bothered to play it. I've got some Wii games I'm thinking about playing next month though. I picked up a set of Wii games that I think are going to be good for a marathon that we're going to do next month. I'm not going to share what they are yet. I'm going to let it be a surprise, but I think they'll make good summertime games. The boxing was a little janky, but everything else was solid. Still waiting for Donkey Kong Country 3. Me too. I need to play that one. I know that's what you meant. You meant that you're waiting for that one on this stream. Yeah, we need to get to that. I think I want to get a new soldering iron, though, before I work on the batteries on my carts. I was looking at my soldering wand, because I don't have, like, my soldering iron's not a gun, it's just a stick. It's real cheap and not very good. I think I want to get something a little better than what I have before I start really poking around inside my carts. People are so mean to DKC3, but I think it's a classic. Yeah, nope. Well, it doesn't have a great reputation. I liked what I played, though. We played the first world. We played through the first world, and I liked what we played of it. It's fun. Do a stream where I change the batteries of my carts? I mean, we could, but the thing is, it's a lot of work to... It'd be a lot of work to change my setup just for that. We've done non-video game streams every now and then. We built some Lego sets on the stream in the past, and I did streams when I was doing inventory on my game collection. I streamed it just because why not? It was a long, tedious process, and it was nice to have company. But I have to move so much stuff around to make a stream like that happen. It's really tedious. And find all my cables when I move my stuff around. We've barely even seen the tower tonight. It's a rough night. It's a rough night trying to get to the top. Watch Tronics Fix on YouTube. Sometimes fixed a switch after being inspired by it. Right on. I'm not the most capable at when it comes to fixing electronic stuff. Like, I can't really troubleshoot and fix anything. I'm confident enough with a soldering iron that I can change a battery in a cartridge, but, like, if you give me a broken console and, like, I've got to, like, I don't know, change a capacitor in it or something like that, it's never going to get fixed, because I don't know how to diagnose that and do that kind of thing. I've done very moderate work Like, I've had Super Nintendos. I've got a couple Super Nintendo where the power plug has cracked on it, and I've had to change a piece out in the back, and that requires soldering. Like, I can do that. But, like, to look at the circuit board and, like, figure out what's wrong and swap something out, never gonna happen. I don't know what anything is. I don't know what I'm looking at. I can only do the most basic of stuff. When you land, it's a complete stop, pretty much, Chozo. Unless you land on a slope, then you'll slide if you land on anything slanted. But if you land on a flat surface, you don't have any momentum, no. Well, that's not true. That's not true if you're on ice either. So sometimes on a slope or on ice, you'll slide when you land, but on a regular flat surface, no. That was horrible. I got all the way up there and then I didn't even try. I just threw away the very first jump. Clearly my head is not in this game tonight. Not in the least. It's cool to get the Switch for $50. Tronics is always refurbishing game stuff all the time. It's really good at it. I can hardly solder, but if it's changing out parts, screws, and plugs, I'm a wizard. Yeah, I mean, I can do any repair that doesn't require heavy diagnosis, or even moderate diagnosis. I can make really obvious repairs if they're really simple with confidence, you know. A little bit of soldering or something like that I can handle, but soldering electronic repairs is fun to me, as long as you have the right gear, Nato says. My dad was always real good with that kind of stuff when I was a kid. Pretty much anything electronic that would break, he was really good at opening it up and troubleshooting it and fixing it. But I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the requisite knowledge to do any of the figuring out stuff. I don't understand what any parts are or how anything works. Best way to get started is just with a simple small project, so you get the feel for it. It would be fun for me too if I had more confidence in the subject, EpiPen says. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel, because yeah, I feel when I do something like that, I feel good about completing a project like that. But there aren't a lot of like repair projects that I am equipped to actually complete. I have a guitar that needs some pretty simple solders. Hey, that's the very first thing that I ever worked on. I bought an electric guitar off the internet when I was in college, and it needed some work. That was the very first soldering experience I ever had. The PlayStation 2 needs the back replaced so I can plug a power cord into it, Chozo says. A lot of my disk space systems need their lasers replaced. Yeah, that's something I'm kind of worried about having to do. I know that's going to come somewhere down the line. In some ways, we can all live our lives like Jump King. Working on guitars is much similar than a lot of electronics. Oh yeah. That's why I was confident in my abilities to do it with no prior experience. Working on a guitar is a good place to start. All the parts are big and obvious. And the wiring is pretty simple. I have the fat PS2. The PS3 I have the revision, not the original one. I have to get a table cleaned off to fix the guitar on. That's the hardest part. Sony cheaps out on everything with the slim systems. Second revision is fine, it just doesn't play PlayStation 2 games. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one I have, is the one that doesn't play PlayStation 2 games. But that's okay, because I have a PlayStation 2 for that. Hey, Sark. How have the cats been? They've been very talkative, Sark. Oh. Welcome in, my friend. I hope, I think you were streaming earlier. I think you were playing Max Payne. I hope that wasn't too painful. Indeed. I haven't ever played that one. My buddy, I think that came out when I was in high school. My buddy in high school, I believe, I remember being into that game. So I've seen a little bit of it. I think it's one with it's got like a bullet time mechanic to it, but I haven't ever tried it out myself. I have made it up. I have made it up to the tower above the cats a couple times, but I'm not good at staying up there. That's for sure. And tonight's been pretty rough. My head's not in the game tonight, for sure. It's a good game. Probably gonna be sick of it by the 4th playthrough. I'm like a school kid all giddy when I think of all the games you haven't played on PlayStation systems that I know you'll end up playing eventually, Joseph says. There's a lot of them I want to get to. I want to do, I'd like to do Crash and Tomb Raider and Croc. There's a lot of PlayStation 1 stuff I want to try and get to. Some of them may be less worthwhile than others. As much as I don't want to do it, I also want to go back and beat Rayman. Rayman on the PlayStation 1 is terrible, so I have to beat it. I did not know. We played that one night on the stream. I played Rayman for like 3 hours one night. I did not know going into it how bad it was going to be. That's why I never picked it up again, but I definitely want to finish it. Parappa the Rapper. I don't know anything about that one. Maybe. I don't have a copy of that one, though. I was just trying to name ones I already have that I know I want to get to. It's a good thing Bubsy 3D has taught you how to play Tomb Raider. Bubsy 3D, my good friend. Parappa is like Guitar Hero before Guitar Hero. I think I've seen the character from the game. I think I would recognize the character if I saw him. Like, I could pick him out of a lineup. But I don't really know what the game is like. Gotta head out for dinner. Have a good one, everybody. Good luck with jumping, Frownie. Thank you, Nato. Appreciate the good luck. Thank you again for the raid. Always love having you come by. I hope that your dinner is fantastic, and if I don't see you again, have a wonderful weekend. We're gonna keep jumping for a while yet tonight. My Steam. I am running a little low on Steam, but the only way we're ever gonna win is if I keep playing. So I'll hang in there for a little while longer. I think my PB is 3 screens into the tower. I think I've been 3 screens up the tower at the best. Only once though. Gives you a stream of buttons to press to the tune of the music. Okay, so yeah, very, very sort of Guitar Hero-esque. Proto Guitar Hero-esque. Oh, yuck. Oh, that's yucky. Oh, please. I haven't fallen down that channel on the left-hand side yet. So, you know, when that happens, I feel like I'm probably going to have to stop playing Jump King for a little while. When I fall all the way down that tube on the left, I'm probably going to have to take a little vacation from this game. But it hasn't happened yet. I know when I get up high enough into the tower, I'm going to be forced to make jumps in that direction. I know I'm going to be forced to make jumps over there, and it's going to happen. But it hasn't happened yet, so like I could still pretend that I'm actually at a checkpoint. Let's not think about that for now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I should crop my window so that I can't see that part of the screen, and I can just leave it out of my mind. I don't know if the rumor is true, Sark, but I heard someone told me that when you were playing through this that you went into the settings and muted the cats after a while. Oh, I did. I may or may not have tried stomping them repeatedly. Oh no. I think they have. I think they've graded. On a few regulars in the chat. I've brought up the possibility of muting them a couple times now because of that, with assurances that it will never happen. I didn't think I was gonna make that jump. I thought I'd missed that one already. No. Those narrow little ledges, they're so rude. I can't believe how many of them there are. I didn't think that was right. Oh yeah, there is a Tetris piece over there. Is that jump free? I don't remember if that jump is free, but there's a Tetris piece next to the chain. This, I think, is as high as I've made it. Yeah, I don't think I've made that jump. I don't think I've made that next jump. That is free. Beautiful. There's a Tetris piece over there. I didn't know about that one. I think that one is I think that one's a scam. I don't believe in that one. I don't think it's a free jump to that one. I think that one's a scam. Oh my goodness. I keep missing this. Oh no, we've been up here. I have been up here. I lied about my PB a moment ago. I have been up on this. I'm pretty sure I've been up here. I don't think I've made this jump though. I think this platform here might be a PB. That other one certainly was. That's the highest we've ever been. I'm certain of it now. That is the highest we've ever been. Oh. We saw something new, my friends. Tonight's a victory. I mean, we didn't see anything new, but we reached somewhere new. Tonight's a victory. New PB by 2 jumps, but still a PB. I'll take it. I'll take it. Anytime I get to stand somewhere new. I mean, we might as well wrap the stream, right? That's as good as it gets. I am going to play a while longer. Thank you for the GG, Sark. Oh, it was getting exciting there. It was getting exciting there for a moment. There's some nasty jumps up there, though. They're not horrible, though. I think some of those jumps are not as bad as ones that were on the way to them, so it's just a matter of not wanting to fall off to the left, I think is. Thank you, Chozo. This game is truly broken, Frownie. Why am I broken? I'm celebrating, Zergling. No, what a jump to overjump. I know the one you're talking about. I didn't see the comment before, but I know which one you're talking about. What a jump to overjump that would be. I think you mean what a jump to overjump that will be. Your happiness is exactly what I refer to. Being trapped in Catland for 2 hours, 30 seconds of possible progress is enough for you to call the night a win. Not possible progress. That was actual tangible progress that I just happened to lose. Oh. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe 2 hours from now we'll get to see it again. Your standards, they couldn't get much lower. I feel I don't know what to say, Zergling. I feel like I'm unarmed. I feel like I stepped into the boxing ring with my hands tied behind my back. Frownie is a glass half full kind of man. I don't think I've ever been described that way before, Choso. I am so given to hopelessness and despair. And Frownie is a woo, there's a few drops left at the bottom kind of man. Oh. In my defense about that, I do constantly talk about how impossible and hopeless games are, but I also don't give up. I run a commentary that is full of despair, but it is largely a smokescreen. I do continue to keep trying. Your screen name and emotes are so cheerful and optimistic. I think your tenacity even surpasses mine. It's quite impressive to watch. Oh, Sark. You flatter me, my friend. I'm very grateful, Sark. Don't make Frownie blush. You have to veil your praise in snarky comments. We wouldn't want me developing too big of an ego now. That would be bad for everyone. Why do all these jumps have to be so scary? Oh, yuck. Oh, he just kept going. He just kept going. Uh... Ooh. I like it right here. I like this part of the map. It's nice and peaceful here. Just watch the happy birds flying by. Yep. Yep. I wish I could be like those birds. I wish I could fly away and leave all of my cares behind. Oh my goodness. It's a refreshing spot of fresh air above above the House of Nine Lives, but before the misery of the tower. I can finally breathe freely again. I have noticed there's 8 cats in this house, and I haven't seen one litter box. You get to fly for 5 to 6 seconds. That's not flying, Zergling, that's falling with style. No. no. Oh no. At least this game is easier to progress in than stream streaking. You got so badly robbed, Zergling. I really can't. I really shouldn't complain about any of my progress lost in this game after that. For those unaware, Zergling was on a stream attendance streak. Tonight should have been stream number 98, and because of a glitch completely out of his control, his watch streak got set back to 1. And he hasn't missed any streams. I know, because I've been here for all of them too. And we didn't even have anything go wrong. There were no crashes or disconnects or anything on my end, and no one else's streams have been reset. So it's very mysterious. I can make complaints, analogies, and random comments in general about my stolen streak for years to come. You are very wise, Zergling. That is a perspective of wisdom. That's how I try to look at it, you see? Maybe 98 is the default limit. No, I know of viewers from other streams that have hit 100. I mean, I can't really say I know it for an absolute fact, but I have heard. And don't have no reason to doubt the validity of what I've heard. No, I don't think Tuesday has been in, but Tuesday doesn't always necessarily chat. Sometimes he just lurks, so. He usually says hi, but not always. Because there've been a few times where I thought that his streak had to have been broken and was wrong. Yeah, it wasn't an unreasonable guess, Greg, but yeah, I think I've heard of people hitting 100 in other stream chats, so I'm pretty sure it's possible. 98 would have been an interesting cap though, just because that was the same cap in that awful lawn mowing game. So the number 98 is one that stands out to me because I have that connection to it from that game. To your point, Zergling, about having something to complain about for years, though, like that's sort of the perspective I have to look at my Jump King playthrough, right? Sure, when I played through Jump King, sure, it took me 92 hours to reach credits the first time. But you know what? All that time's going to be worth it because of the years I'm going to be telling people about how I played Jump King for 92 hours before I finally beat it. I have the slowest first playthrough of this game in human history. Because it was 92 hours wrong. It was 92 hours long on the wrong path. It's the best. It 100 million hours, 3-minute story. Well worth it. That's time well spent. See, time you sink into generating a story that you can tell for the rest of your life. That's time well sunk. In some ways, I feel like it's harder to explain watching it than playing it. I seem to have deteriorated a bit. I'm not... For a while, it felt like I was making it back up to the tower pretty reliably, but... Now I'm tripping over myself a lot. I don't know if I'm too lost in thought or not lost in thought enough. There is a sort of sweet spot that I find where, like, I need to have my brain in, like, on, like, just the right amount of autopilot to make it out of here. If I think about the jumps too little or too much, it won't work either way. There's been talk off and on about, like, counting, like, during my button presses to, like, try and be consistent and just, like, you know, if I could count in a steady rhythm every time, then I could just remember the series of numbers to help make the jumps easier. And I did that a little bit. I did start counting a little bit when I was in the underwater sections, but in the when I'm not underwater, I don't feel like I can actually do the count in my head with a consistent rhythm. I feel like I'm actually more consistent with these jumps. Well, I'm never consistent with these jumps, but it's a little bit easier when my mind is kind of empty, and I just rely on, like, the feel of the jumps. Nothing is working for me at the moment, though. Despite how much of a hard time I give you, the progress and drive to keep going is a good thing. Hey, thank you, Zergling. There's gotta be some benefits to it, right? I was thinking about what you said, EpiPen, about it's harder to justify watching it than it is to justify playing it. And I don't really necessarily feel that way with, like, when it comes to, like, the live viewing experience, because there's such a degree of, like, unknown that, like, when you're watching someone, like, play something like this live, like, you're along for the journey, you know, to almost to the same degree that the player is, I feel like. And, you know, not that I feel like what perplexes me, and this, what perplexes me is, like, I archive all of these streams, so, like, theoretically, if you really wanted to, you could, not justify, explain, okay, fair enough. But I was thinking, like, if you wanted to, theoretically, there's a playlist where you could sit on YouTube and watch all of these after the fact, and that is something I have a harder time understanding. I mean, I don't really expect, on the one hand, I don't really expect that there's anyone on this planet that is going to want to go to the archive and sit through the entire Jump King playthrough, though it is possible, and I have mixed feelings about saying anything about that, because if there is that one wild person out there in the universe, I don't really want to insult them. And it feels like I am, to point out, now I can't wrap my mind around wanting to do that. The only scenario that I can really imagine that where someone is gonna want to sit down and like and live through this entire playthrough in the archive after the fact, like, the only situation I could imagine that happening is, like, you know, yeah, heaven forbid, like, if Jelly and I had a kid one day, but I died when they were an infant, and then they were like, well, I wonder what my dad was like. You know, like, that's the only situation where I can imagine someone being curious enough to want to sit through all of these. I like to think that I like seeing the journey and the victories, and that is true, Zergling says. However, honestly, sadistic viewing pleasure is also a huge part of how you justify watching. So what were you doing last night? Well, there's this guy playing this terrible game that's made to be so hard you'll rage quit. And you did this instead of sleep. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I could see loading it up in curiosity and scrubbing through. Yeah, I could see someone doing that. I mean, and that was how Zergling got everyone on board with the idea that honesty isn't always the best policy, by his unfiltered, honest opinions in the chat. You know, and I have similar feelings when I watch someone play Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I've talked about before. Like, I always started off watching someone play that, rooting for the game. I don't want anyone who plays Super Ghouls and Ghosts to ever come away from it not experiencing how cruel the game can be. Come on. I need to where's the I think my spark has gone out. Hey, right when I said it, we got another glimpse of the tower. Oh man, a whole bunch of raiders come in. Well, let's just hang out for a moment. Let everyone come in and join us. Welcome to some Jump King. Kyle, welcome in. Thank you very much for the raid. Always a pleasure, Kyle. Hope you're having a fantastic night tonight. Dino Pulsata, welcome in. Yared, welcome in. Great to have you with us. I hope you had a wonderful stream, Kyle. If you're burnt out from a long, exciting night, if you need to run and take care of yourself, I completely understand. But if you have the time, energy, and inclination to spend a little while with us, I'd love to hear about what you were doing tonight and how it went. If there's anybody that somehow is not familiar with Kyle, aka Janked Jesus, then please use that link there while we're just sitting here chatting. Give Kyle a follow because it is an excellent stream that Kyle runs. Fallout 3. Is it just Fallout 3, or is that among many other things? Yeah, the same ordeal as all the other people who ordered any of the 3DO games, limited run games, was releasing. It was a good stream. Went way too long tonight. It was a good stream, though. Did some Xbox action and some Fallout toward the end. But other than that, it was a good stream. I don't understand what that means, though, about the limited run thing. That went by my head. A Tale of Two Wastelands? We played a couple games tonight over here. We tried Darkwing Duck on the NES and the Game Boy. Very first playthroughs of both of those, and we made it through both. They're very enjoyable games. Kind of short and sweet. It was excellent to play something that didn't crush my spirit every moment of the game. And then, because my spirit hadn't been crushed enough tonight, we decided to play Jump King for the remainder. And so that's what we're up to right now, is trying to make it to the top of this tower. I reached a new PB a short while ago, so we've seen heights we'd never seen before, and then of course I fell from them more or less immediately. So it's been a pretty laid-back night. It's a part of the larger total conversion mod for Fallout New Vegas. That's essentially Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas combined on the New Vegas engine into one game. Hence the mod's logo, combining one half of Fallout 3's logo with one half of New Vegas's logo. And that's... I'm afraid, like, I'm afraid I know almost nothing about Fallout. I've heard of the games. Tale of Two Wastelands. I know a little bit more about the Elder Scrolls than I know about Fallout, but I'm pretty ignorant of Bethesda games all around, sadly. Didn't really do too much to tie the two games together. It's just a convenient way of playing two games. I mean, it's kind of surprising and mind-blowing to me that can even be done. Oh no. This is very scary, my friends. This is potentially the worst thing that's ever happened to me in this game. I don't know what's going to happen to us now. We're about to, well, I do know what's about to happen to us. We're about to lose a lifetime of progress. I don't know the best way to do this. That's not the best way to do it. Oh, excellent. We just, yeah, woo. We just erased a couple weeks of progress. Hey, Juker, welcome in. That was a thing to enter too. Oh, it's rough. I'm grateful to have you here, Juker. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. What was that about? What was that about all the way down? I think someone said. Yeah, that's where we're heading. We're not quite as low as we could possibly go, but we're virtually there. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what this part of the map is like. Uh because it's been a long time since we've been here. Shadows of the Empire is just as mean on the higher difficulties as I remember, Juker says. Oh no, I tried them off stream and it was so rude. That game is so evil on easy mode. Woo! It's like playing a whole new game now. Yeah, we basically just reset the game. So there was 30 hours of progress thrown away. Very exciting. Did you? No, I didn't see that part, Juker. I came in after IG88. You told me. You told me that it was horrific, and I didn't remember, like, I remember that part being really tough. Like I can picture the arena, like the junkyard arena where you fight IG88 in my mind, and I haven't played or seen it, since I was in middle school. The arena is terrible. He's too fast and jumps everywhere. Yeah, I have that game sticks out really clearly in my memory, given how it's been decades since I played it. Like I feel like it shouldn't seem as crisp as it does. It's very short despite everything. The only part I feel like I should remember really well is the Hoth level, because I played that over and over and over again when I was young. I played that Hoth level so much I could do it in the Resident Evil camera mode at one point. The whole thing. Just that one level, though. I think that guy needs some company. I think that guy is pretty far gone. I don't think there's a lot of hope for that purple guy down there. What's weird is that purple guy down there, I feel like I've come across him in another game. He seems really familiar to me, and I can't place why that is. But I feel like I've come across that character in another game. I may seem to be handling everything very well at the moment. But believe you me, when the stream is over tonight, I am going to cry myself to sleep. I am exceedingly upset about being back down here. I knew it was inevitable, but now being the Frownie that's living through it, I am not at all happy about. There's a lot of very particular jumps to have to deal with it in this area, and I don't remember them. I don't remember how to do them. You'll be back there within 115 hours this time, I'm sure, Zergling says. My condolences, EpiPen says. Oh. It's like when I used to watch Croc Hunter, waiting for him to get bit or something, EpiPen says, and then it happened, and I wasn't happy, I was sad. None of that really hurts. The initial fall hurt a lot. The subsequent falls don't really hurt that much. They're not unfamiliar. Even insomnia runs its course. I'd say GG, but you know. Hey, thank you, EpiPen. It's been great having you with us. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, a fantastic tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. We should be streaming tomorrow night. We're going to continue Jet Force Gemini. I don't know what we're going to do in that game because I'm stuck. Well, we're going to play mini games. We're going to try and master 2 mini games in Jet Force Gemini, maybe 3. But if I do that, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm going to be scratching my head a lot. That game is super cryptic. Cryptic isn't really the right word. My game is super obtuse. Like, to be cryptic, I feel like it would have to, like, hand me a puzzle that I can't solve. But the problem with Jet Force Gemini is it's handing me no information. It's not that I have data that I can't make sense of, it's that I have no data. That's why I gave up on Jet Force Gemini. I don't blame you. I really... Oh... I hate looking stuff up in a game so much, but I'm kind of at the point where I feel like I'm gonna have to look at a walkthrough, just because I just don't even know what to do. It's like I feel like I've been handed a book in a foreign language that I've never seen or heard before, and I'm being asked to read it without like any like dictionary or just no resources. Just puzzle it out. Just guess what the symbols mean. But it's not even that, because like again, like that would be cryptic. I just don't know. I don't know where to go or what to do. I feel like I've seen everything in the game 400 times. I've been everywhere. I've done everything. There's just nothing left. It's very rough. I want to finish it to get revenge. Having owned it when it released, I need to. But I have a couple mini games left to finish in it. So I can throw myself against those for at least one more night. And then I figure I've probably got I've got one night of mini games, and then I've got one night of circling the map left in me before I'm gonna have to seriously consider giving in. I was at that point. I was so close to giving in a couple nights ago. I pulled the strategy guide off the shelf, and I was trying to work up the nerve to open it. And just when I was about to give up, I found somewhere I'd never been before. So that pulled me back down off the ledge for a little while, but I don't think I got Jet Force Gemini right when it released. If, as I recall, I got my copy of it sort of right before the GameCube came out. And so I never really played it, even though I had it, you know, when I was young. I never really played it because it just got overshadowed, I think, by Luigi's Mansion and Rogue Squadron and Smash Brothers. Oh, that's real bad. No, what's going on? Hang on. There, okay, there we go. Cool, I missed. Alright, well that fall wasn't as bad as it could be, but it was really close to as bad as it could be. There's just a little bit. There's basically 2 screens of the map down below that we haven't seen yet. We've gotten as close to bedrock as you can get without being there, pretty much. Like, that's the lowest environment that exists. Just we just didn't hit the lowest point of it yet. Oh, that hurts. Life was so good for so long. We didn't know how good we had it. I am in pieces. Okay. Got lucky there. No. So much for luck. So whenever I'm underwater, there's a lot of like deep sand or mud on all the platforms that are underwater, and Jump King can't actually walk. Like, see, I'm walking back and forth. You understand walking, right? When you're in that deep mud, you can't walk. You can only reposition yourself by hopping. But if I put that snake ring on, the snake ring lets you walk through the mud when you normally couldn't. At the expense, the benefit is it lets you walk through mud. The drawback is it makes every platform have ice physics. So that's why I keep putting it on and taking it off. Every time I fall down there. It's great when you really need it, but it's not so great when you don't. It took me a while. It took me a long time to figure that. Well, it took me a while to figure that out. When I got the snake ring, at first, for the longest time, I thought the snake ring was just a scam. I thought it was a joke item that was meant to troll you, because I knew all I could figure out was the ice physics part, and so I just assumed it was a troll item, because I had to go through kind of a lot to get it. But it did turn out to have a benefit, shockingly, and a very important one. Because navigating the bog without the ability to reposition yourself is I shudder to imagine it. This place is bad enough as is. Isn't this a troll game? Well, see, that's why I thought it was a joke item. That's why I thought it was a joke and didn't bother to think about it for a long while about, like, what else it could do for me. Just figured, oh, it's just Jump King being Jump King. We had a good laugh about it, and I was ready to forget to forget it ever even existed. But for some reason, I ended up trying it in the snow, and snow drifts work the same way as the mud under the bog. You can't walk in snow drifts, and when we were hanging out in the snow, it just kind of struck me out of nowhere, like oh, like the slippery, there seemed to be a logic to, like, the slipperiness of the snake ring, indicating increased movement, and so I gave it a try and it worked. And then I only tried it in the bog because it had worked in the snow previously. Gotta go. Work today, Greg says. Need some sleep. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Greg. Thank you for being here with us. I hope work goes very well for you. I hope it doesn't treat you like this game. So there's bedrock, by the way. This is as far as you can fall. There is no point lower than this. So welcome to the beginning of the game. Grateful to have you all join us at the start of this playthrough. Let's see how it goes. I'm just looking at the clock and debating, like, how badly I want to keep going to claw my way out of here before I end the stream. I don't really think it's possible. I don't really think it's possible that I'm gonna make... that I'm gonna make it back up to where we were tonight. I really wish it was. But I don't think it'll happen. Excuse me. I remember what all these bottom parts are like fairly well, having traversed this innumerable times already. But the big problem is that the area at the top of Bugstalk, the place that looks like dark brown bricks with all the slippery platforms, the area where that transitions into the House of Nine Lives, which is the place where we had previously been safe-ish. I only passed through there once successfully, so I don't know how any of those jumps go. Like, I don't have even a theoretical understanding. Most of these down here, I've made these jumps hundreds of times successfully. So even though I still constantly blunder them, there's some glimmer of recognition. Hey, Duck Something, welcome in. USB near the end? Not at all, Duck Something. I just lost the largest chunk of progress imaginable. About 15 minutes ago, I fell all the way to bedrock. I'm really far. I'm really far from victory right now. Life is kind of rough. Life is very rough. Just do anything different. Just you get locked into a loop like that, you just do the same thing over and over again. It's just like, even if it's worse, just do a different jump. Break the cycle, please. Okay, let me leave you here for just a moment, my friends. I'm gonna keep going with this for a little bit longer. Super extra deluxe edition stream. I'm not gonna give up just yet because I really hate to end here. Oh no, I know, Sark. Look at what happened to me. Look at what happened to me. I don't really think I can win my progress back, but I don't want to give up the hope yet. But I do need to step away for a quick BRB. I need to go cry a bunch of tears real quick. I need to take the doggo out into the yard for a minute and get his breakfast ready. So I'll be gone a few minutes. Probably 10 minutes or so. Hopefully less, but it's not entirely up to me. But I'll be back with you as quickly as I can, my friends. If you want to see if I can claw my way out of this pit, just stand by a moment. I'll see you shortly.